properties for any request in the most prime locations of Limassol. Today we are introducing you to the developer Chrona. You are on the Nevestate channel, the international real estate agency. We sell real estate in more than 40 countries for living, investment and obtaining residency permits, trusted developers, high liquidity properties, and full support throughout the process. Today we are here with Victor, a representative of the developer Chrona. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us. Tell us a bit about the company and what your advantages are.
I would like to point out that Chrona Group is a group of companies. First, we have our construction company, Chrona Construction. Second, we have Chrona Development. These are projects that we manage, build, sell ourselves, and so on. Third, we have our building materials store, One Visit Solution. We are one of the largest distributors of building materials in Cyprus. And fourth, our furniture store. We furnish apartments and houses for our clients and others depending on their needs and budget. Chrona Group has already completed more than 300,000 square meters of construction, and at the moment we are managing over 60,000 more. Our company actively cooperates with some of the largest IT companies in Cyprus. We implement projects for them, for the employees of these companies. Since there is a shortage of real estate in Cyprus, it is difficult for these employees to rent an apartment, and that's why these companies decided to build projects for them and directly rent them out to their employees. This way, the relocation of employees to Cyprus becomes much easier, and Cyprus is opening up to more and more IT specialists.
We are now at one of your largest and most popular projects, Garden Square. Tell us a bit about the location of this project and how you generally choose locations for your projects.
The Garden Square project is located in the Mutayaka area. We are about 800 meters from the sea. That's the first advantage of this location. It's not a noisy area, it's quite quiet and peaceful here. We've noticed that clients in Cyprus often specifically request quiet locations where there are no passing cars, buses or motorcycles, which tend to drive along the main roads and so on. When we talk about the location we choose before starting a project, it's clear that the presence of infrastructure is important. Shops, pharmacies, playgrounds, and so on. And once again, I'll emphasize the importance of quiet and proximity to the sea. That's also key. Although right now there is a significant shortage of available building plots in Cyprus, and it is becoming increasingly difficult and much harder to find, acquire, and build new projects close to the sea. So these are the main criteria. Infrastructure, proximity to the sea, proximity to main roads, and so on.
What kind of infrastructure does this project have?
Here we have, as you can see, a large swimming pool. Here we have a relaxation area. There is also a place for a sauna, a plunge pool with circulating cold water. This is the barbecue area. Personally, I think this is one of the main advantages, being able to invite friends and gather with a big group. There are also heaters there. So for example, if you want to grill something in the winter, a playground is also a must-have if you have kids, so you don't need to. This is a gated area, it's 20,000 square meters, completely enclosed, and you can come here with your family, lie down on a lounger, especially in the summer when you don't feel like going to the sea and so on. You just lie down, your child is playing and relaxing on their own, and you know they won't run off anywhere or disappear. That's it. And you can relax here in peace. There are also green areas here in Cyprus. Again, I'll repeat, there's a shortage of greenery. That's it. And as you can see, when you step outside, you feel a touch of nature here with pleasant plants around. At night, all of this is beautifully and nicely lit up. That's why it's just a real pleasure to be here.
You're right, this really is a green, amazing community for living. Tell me, do your clients mostly buy projects here to live in or as investments? What is the general profile of your buyer?
I wouldn't single out any specific buyer profile. If we talk about which field people come from to buy property here, I can't single that out either. So people are absolutely different. That's what makes Cyprus unique. There are so many different interesting businesses and a lot of interesting people here. If we talk about whether people buy for investment or for living, I can't really separate them. People buy both to live in and as investments. A very common request is, I'll buy it for myself, but maybe someday I'll rent it out. But most often it doesn't really
Work that way.
here. It's really great to buy both for investment and for living. I would highlight this project specifically for living. Honestly, if I bought an apartment in a place like this, I would feel bad renting it out, because when you step outside, you really want to be here, to live here and so on. If we are choosing projects for rental purposes, I would recommend projects closer to the city center, since that's where the largest number of offices and so on are located. Honestly, if you have to travel from here to the city center, it can sometimes be a bit of a problem, especially in the morning or during rush hour in the evening. It can actually be tough. A large number of people have moved to Limassol over the past few years. That's it. And sometimes it feels like you're not in a quiet place, but really in a big city where life is constantly buzzing. People are always going somewhere and there are constant traffic jams. So if we're talking about investments, I would rather consider something in the city center.
It's great that you have a large number of different projects and can offer various options to buyers. We've already mentioned that IT companies choose you and you actively cooperate with them. Tell us, why do IT specialists like you so much?
Our company or Cyprus?
Your company in Cyprus.
IT specialists like our company, because we actively collaborate with them. We develop projects exclusively based on their needs. Of course, so that the infrastructure is suitable for IT specialists and so on. Why do IT specialists love Cyprus, specifically this sector? Because the island offers them convenient and comfortable living conditions.
The tax system is special. We've already talked about how Limassol is very lively, very active, and a huge number of people come here, relocating both for work and for life. But for you personally, which location would you choose, Limassol or Paphos?
So as not to offend anyone, as a young guy, of course, I like Limassol more, but I also don't want to limit young people who are choosing between Paphos and Limassol to strictly pick Limassol. That's absolutely not the case. To each their own. Some people prefer a more moderate lifestyle, although honestly I don't know. Life in Limassol is pretty moderate too. So no, there isn't that vibe here, you know. There's no megapolis feeling where everything is constantly moving and happening and so on. Life here is measured and calm, and in Paphos it's even calmer. As a young, energetic guy, maybe Paphos would feel a bit stifling to me because of how peaceful it is, but I can't say for sure. I do like it there. The city center is really nice. They've done a beautiful job with it. I like the projects that the guys are building there. We'll also have our own projects there soon. We've already acquired sites in a great location, so we'll be announcing them soon. So yeah, so to each their own. So if you want a more measured, peaceful life, if you don't want to rush anywhere, Paphos is calm. If you don't want to rush, but sometimes you need to go somewhere, then Limassol is better. So really, to each their own.
Speaking of life in Cyprus, could you tell me please, can a client obtain a residence permit by purchasing one of your properties?
Yes. For a purchase starting from 300,000 euros, the client is entitled to obtain permanent residency in Cyprus. We also fully assist and support the client, from submitting documents to guidance throughout the process and so on.
Besides apartments, tell us what other products are in your portfolio.
We also offer commercial real estate. In the city center in the Mesa Gaetonia area, we have an interesting project called Gateway. It is divided. What makes it interesting? It is divided into commercial and residential zones. There we have apartments, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom units, and an office building. The project was launched recently, and we have many units available there. So, if we're talking not only about apartments and commercial real estate, we also offer villas, 3-bedroom and 5-bedroom ones. And very soon we will also have a new project outside the city consisting exclusively of villas. I'll let you know about that as well.
Victor, thank you very much for such a detailed overview.
Thank you too.
This was Chrona Group. If you're interested in learning about prices, layouts and details, write to us.